I am Gaurang Rathod. I have completed Master of Engineering in Electronics and Communication from Gujarat Technological University. The title of paper for which I will give presentation is Load Balancing to Extend Life of Wireless Sensor Network. Outline of presentation: Introduction, Precision Allocation Method of Load Balancing, Experimental Work, Conclusion and References. Introduction: Wireless sensor network is made of sensor nodes and base stations. Nodes Wireless sensor network is nodes are deployed in the sensing area. Nodes sense data and this data will send to the base station. Nodes are battery operated, so lifetime of network is defined by the life of node, and life of node is defined by the energy of battery. So energy is a very crucial parameter for the wireless sensor network. Lifetime of network is a time duration until the first node is out of energy. So life of network is defined by the life of first dying node. Load balancing. Load balancing is a making energy consumption rate of all nodes equals. So by load balancing we get the all energy consumption rate of all nodes equal. So all nodes will die at the same time by load balancing. So lifetime of network defined by all nodes instead of only one node which has a very high energy consumption rate. Load balancing can be achieved by the routing, mobile base station, data aggregation and etc. Precision allocation method for load balancing. This method is work on the data value of data. So this is a application layer. This method work as a application layer, one can say. And this method is also called as a data aggregation method also. Precision of data is given by the error bound. Precision of data means accuracy of data or quality of data is given by the error bound. So error bound is a quality of the data is mostly depend on the error bound. Error bound is a quality deciding factor of quality or deviation parameter also consider one can say. For example, say these are reading D. The reading in the range D minus E, D plus E are the precise reading or accepted readings. Out of this interval we get less precise reading or not, the quality of data is not good. This is the main fundamental line for the work. Nodes communicate with sync only when new sense reading is out of interval. Otherwise, node will not send data to the base station. So whenever the new sense reading is out of interval, node will send to the data to the base station. Otherwise, node will not send the data to the base station. So only data which is very fluctuate from the previous sense reading, that data will send to the base station. Same error bound problem. If we give same error bound to the all nodes, then this interval D minus E, D plus E is same for the all node. Then two kinds of problem occur. First one, data captured by different node changes at different magnitudes and frequencies. Suppose we have two nodes in network. One node is located where the change or fluctuation in data is very many times. So that node will send data to the base station many times due to out of interval new sense reading. And other node is a place at such a place where changing or fluctuating in data is very less time. So that node will send communicate with base station many very less time. So this will create the energy balance problem created by this kind of situation. Second problem, energy consumption of nodes is not same because of the parameter like distance between node and sink. Node which is very near to the base station consume less energy, and node which is far from the base station consume more energy to send data to the base station. So this will also create the unbalanced energy consumption. Solution is given by the precision partition. Give different error bounds to the different nodes and derive the benefit of energy in sensor network. So we will give different error bounds to the different nodes. Constant for error bounds. Total error bound allocated to nodes cannot be exceed total network error bound E. So summation of all network error bound of all nodes will always less or equal to capital E, where capital is the total network error bound, which is the input parameter for the network. So why this constraint is necessary? Because after periodically we change error bound of node. But suppose situation happens that if we will not put this kind of constraint, then what happen? After every adjustment period we change the error bound, and after long time one node will be such that it has a very high value of error bound. So this interval will be very high, due to if error bound is very high, then this interval will be very high. So new sense reading will never go out of this interval, so that node will never communicate with base station. So this kind of problem can be solved if we put this kind of constraint. So all nodes will communicate with base station if only when this constraint is satisfied. For example, say 10 nodes are there and total network error bound is given 10 degrees Celsius. Then all nodes will give same error bound. Otherwise, or we can say that we can also give different error bound to the all nodes. But summation is 10 for all nodes. Error bound of summation of error bounds is 10. Optimal precision allocation. In this graph, we can say that the frequency of communication between node and sink is a function of error bound allocated to node. Frequency of communication between node and sink means how many times node communicates with base station. If error bound is very high, then interval will be very large. So out of probability of out of that interval will very less. So node will communicate with base station very less times. If E is very small, then interval will be very small. So probability of new sense reading out of that interval will be very large. So that node will communicate with base station many times. So this is an exponentially decreasing graph. So how many times node will communicate with base station is a function of error bound. Example for cadence precision allocation. Suppose we have 3 nodes and we have 3 error bounds, E1, E2, E3, and E1 less than E2 less than E3, and summation is capital E. And we have three energy consumption rate for these nodes, R1 less than R2 less than R3. Then we should assign E1 to N1 node, E2 assign to N2 node, and E3 assign to the N3 node. This kind of allocation one should give to get the benefit of life for the network. Let the energy cost due to communication between node and sink say SI. So if node send one data to base station, then SI joule is energy consumed for that communication. Restoration energy say P. Expected lifetime ratio of node is given by the P upon U of P into SI. So P is the restoration energy, SI is the communication cost, and U is how many times node send data to the base station. This will give the expected lifetime ratio. Flowchart for the load balancing. We give input parameter as a total network error bound, adjustment period. These are the input parameter. Initially allocate same error bound to the all nodes. So number of network error bounds say 25. So consider 25 nodes are there in networks, and total network error bound is 27. The 27 by 25 is equal to 1.07 degrees Celsius is given to the all nodes for temporary considering the temperature application. After allocating the same error bound, sensing process is start. If new sense reading is out of interval, then this new sense reading is sent to the base station. Otherwise, this reading is not. If it is in interval, no need to send this reading. So if out of interval, increment the update count. Update count means how many times node will communicate with base station. If adjustment period is hour, if yes, or if adjustment period is not hour, then sensing process is continuous. If adjustment period is hour, then expected lifetime ratio is calculated for all nodes and find the which node has the highest and lowest expected lifetime ratio. After finding the node which has the highest and lowest expected lifetime ratio, we calculate the delta with the help of error bound of node which has the highest expected lifetime ratio, and this delta is added and subtracted to the nodes which has the highest and lowest expected lifetime ratios. So only node which has the highest and lowest expected lifetime ratio our error bound of that node will change. Other nodes have same error bound. And we also check this any node is die or not. If node die, then network is dead and calculate the restoration energy and other parameters for the network. If node die, then continues the sensing process of network. And Experimental work. Experimental done in MATLAB and NS2. In MATLAB, the algorithm is implemented, and in NS2, result comparison is done. And in NS2, analogous work is done. Network area 500 by 500. Initial energy is 100 joule. Consider. The topology is randomly deployed nodes, 25 nodes deployed in 500 by 500 area. This is the temperature profile for the node. The simulation run for 10,000 time unit. This is a temperature profile or data profile for a node. The deviation from previous sensing is in between -1 to 1. Initial error bound is same. We have considered 27 total network error bound and 25 nodes. So 27 by 25 is equal to 1.07 degrees Celsius error bound allocated to all nodes. In starting, we have considered the temperature application here for the whole work. Error bound at the simulation hour. At the end of 10,000 time unit, the error bound of all nodes is like this one. So highest error bound is 1.31 and lowest is 1.08. So in between 0.8 to 1.3, all nodes have error bound. So quality of data is not, all nodes are equal, most probably equal quality of data. Not we give one error bound for one node is very high and other one is a very less error bound. Just this happened due to that kind of constant error bound constant we have applied. So this is very, we get the we have changed the quality of data in very less. So we get the most probably very good exact, very near to the output. We get the we get data at the base station which is very near to the exact data. Number of times node communicate with the base station. At the end of simulation we see that node 21 communicates with base station 1600 times, whereas node 23 communicates with base station only 300 times. So all nodes communicate with base station different times. Residual energy of node at the simulation. Though all nodes communicate with base station at different times, but residual energy at the simulation end is very balanced or very equal to each other just because of the precision allocation method. It is nearly 65 joule. Experimental work in NS2. Simulation cases, three simulation cases have taken with same error bound to all nodes, with different random error bound to all nodes, and error bound with respect to distance between node and single. In case 3, error bound is defined with respect to distance between node and sink. In case 2, randomly define error bound for all nodes. In case 1, all nodes have same error bounds. These are the parameters. Initial energy 2 joules. This is the topology. 25 is the base station, which is upper right corner. Same error bound allocation. So this graph is the residual energy of all nodes versus time. Simulation is done for 100 seconds. So one node, the energy consumption rate for one this red one is very high compared to other ones. So lifetime of network is defined by only this one, where at the end of 100 seconds these all nodes have very high energy compared to this one, but life is defined by only this one node. This is just because of the unbalanced energy consumption rate. By providing random error bound allocation, the lifetime is this is also unbalanced, but compared to previous one, this is a balanced energy consumption rate. Error bound based on the distance, or case 3. Here the energy consumption is very balanced, as we can see that after 100 seconds all nodes lifetime of network is defined by generally very all nodes, or energy consumption is balanced very. This is the energy left at the simulation end. So in yellow part we see the lowest and highest residual energy node is given. The difference between 1.68 and 1.32 is 0.36 joule. So difference between 0.36 joule, here the difference is random precision allocation method. Difference is 1.71 joule minus 1.60 joule is equal to 0.11 joule. The 0.11 joule is the difference for the highest and lowest residual energy node. Here is the difference is 0.01, which is very very less. So for we can say that here is all nodes have around 1.85 residual energy, and difference is very very less, 0.01. So balance energy consumption we can say compared to previous two cases. Comparison of residual energy of nodes at the simulation end. So balance energy consumption we can say for case 3 is shown in the green. Red one is for random precision allocation and blue one is for the same precision allocation. So restoration energy at the end of simulation we get for, and lifetime of network is more for the case 3. Conclusion: wireless sensor network is energy constrained network. By load balancing we make the lifetime of network depend on all nodes instead of only one nodes. Precision allocation method we play with the quality of data and get the benefit of lifetime of network. By simulating the network of 25 nodes, why nodes? With different precision allocation method, we get the good lifetime compared to all other methods. And which by we get the good lifetime of network is very very significant increase with the help of different precision allocation method. These are the references, and thank you for listening me.